Hi, this is Sonakshi. I'm from Maths and Computing, and I got a job on day one in finance, and I got a job in Deutsche Bank.
Hi, I'm Dipali. I'm from the electrical department and I have been placed at Goldman Sachs, Bangalore.
Hi, I'm Vaibhav Grover in 5th year Electrical Engineering Department, dual degree, and I got placed at Fin Mechanics, which is a financial consulting firm in Bombay.
Hi, my name is Ataba Kashwak. I am currently a final year student in Integrated Mathematics and Computing. I am currently doing my research work, thesis work in the field of machine learning, and I am also given a job offer. I am accepted that job offer from the company Goldman Sachs in a similar area.
I had also applied for consulting companies and hence I devoted a lot of time to my CV making process. The tech and finance companies are not very much interested in your CV, so if you're just focusing on them, then I would say the last 1 week is more than enough to make your CV. But if you are focusing on consulting, then you have to devote a lot more time on your CV. Yes, so just make sure that you send your CVs to your seniors and get them reviewed by them. It's really helpful.
Coding was not a part of my preparation because I was specifically preparing for a finance or analytical field. My preparation majorly consisted of my courses. In an interview, they really are not concerned about the final answer. They're concerned about how you get to the final answer. You just have to speak out your mind, tell them everything you have been thinking. Okay, I'll approach the problem like this and this and this, and then I'll do this. And they're fine with that even if you do not reach the final answer. So in a nutshell, my preparation was all about my projects, puzzles, my CV, and the final HR.
I think my strategy would almost be the same. So books, online websites, and then revision of courses. So they go in the same order. The first one is the books, where we have like 40 puzzles for in probability, 50 puzzles in probability, how to ace the bait teaser, interview. These are really fixed books that have been given to us by our seniors. And then in the online website thing, we have cscblog.com, which many people don't know about, but it's a really cool blog for puzzle solving. And then we have the Geeks for Geek website. It's for algorithm division. And then as far as courses are concerned, they require the least amount of time because I was doing ADA in the job semester only, so I didn't need revision for that, and I did revise some Malt 15.
So I was targeting two different types of profiles. One was a purely coding profile, the other was a finance profile. For the coding profile, a lot of coding practice is required, which I did from websites like LeetCode, Geeks for Geeks, etc. And for the puzzles, there are certain books which have a lot of standard puzzles in them, which are very easy.
I come from a very core department regarding to what job I finally got. So for finance, MCA is one of the departments that they look for. I have had lots of courses which proved very useful for me. So I've done specifically data structures, algorithms. I did investment planning. I did a course on financial mathematics. All of the maths courses, they proved pretty useful for me, but all of the humanities courses did not.
First of all, coding courses are absolutely helpful. So courses like data structures and analysis and ADA to some extent, and mostly coding experience is very useful. Secondly, experience in mathematics, especially statistics, is again a skill which companies require. Apart from that, some knowledge of finance, which I sort of got through microeconomics and some other independent studies, is what proved very helpful to me.
Specific for the job itself, there are few courses that were very helpful. First of all, there are courses on machine learning and pattern recognition as a topic itself. There are courses on data mining, which study different aspects of machine learning and application aspect. Also, there are courses on finance which are useful in the sense that there are courses on finance and there are courses on natural language processing, which are also.
I had 2 interviews, so it went on for half an hour each, so a total of say 1 hour. I think that's the average length of an interview. They do grill you for at least 15 minutes for sure. I was asked a lot of puzzles. I was asked about my CV. I was asked about the general financial news, which is very much specific to only the finance interviews. Nobody would ask you about the news or whatever is happening or going.
The first one was maths and machine learning. The questions were not very tough. Their main focus was on the projects that I have done, whatever I had mentioned in my CV. And then the second Goldman Sachs interview was more of algorithm based. I didn't do well in that. And yeah, so Goldman Sachs was pretty straightforward. They just look at your problem solving skills, and there is no HR round. And the next was Deutsche Bank. It also had 2 interviews, each 30 minutes long. The first one was really easy tech interview. One was a very simple sorting based algorithm question, and the other one was a probability question, and the interviewers really helped me out in each of them. So they went pretty well.
So first of all, there was a test, a 3-hour test where they asked you questions in, again, maths, coding and finance. But the finance knowledge was not as a prerequisite. I mean, they had given what all you needed to know, and you had to just understand it there and answer questions on that. There was also an HR round, which you had to answer in 25 minutes. Then after this, on day 1, there were 2 interview rounds. The first was an HR round where they asked questions from your HR test and sort of like checked with you and talked with you and just understood what you want to do in life. And then there was another round, the final round, where they did the final selections, where they had a panel of judges, a panel of sort of interviewers, and all of them asked questions regarding how proficient you were in coding, what were your, again, just HR questions and a bit of technical interview as well.
So the most of the interviews can be divided on two things. Either they are on your CV. They ask questions on what you have done over the 3-4 years. So like they will ask about, okay, tell me about this particular project. I'll explain whatever I have done, and then they'll ask question, but why didn't you do this part? Why didn't you do this? And then maybe you could have done this, and then you explain the pros and cons, how you reached that solution to that problem. So this part of the interview is pretty simple because it can be actually prepared. It actually depends on your hard work over the 5 years. They ask you puzzles. I was not usually asked those kind of questions because of my particular kind of interview. I was asked, like, there were few interviews in which I was asked pure programming questions. Okay, can you reverse a linked list? Can you create a traversal of this tree, and so on and so forth. Also, there were some questions on that. Okay, if you want to design a software, if you want to design this, how would you design this? If you want to design such a data structure for this kind of problem, how would you approach this problem? Which they're trying to see that whether have you just learned all the stuff, or whether you really know how to think in these terms, or to think in a computational perspective. As for specific topics, data structures, algorithms, probability and stochastics, and OS were the most useful, and for the discussion kind of interviews, machine learning areas were most useful.
So different companies look for different things. So the companies which are purely coding based, the focus is again mostly on coding, and your interpersonal skills are maybe not that much of an important skill. But for profiles like finance, for example, the company I went to, they did have a very extensive HR interview where the way you talk and your interpersonal skills are also equally important. But again, the focus was initially a lot on your problem solving skills, your mathematics, your coding skills.
I'll say they look for a pretty good mix in a candidate. They not only want you to be very good at solving all kinds of problems that come to you, they don't want you to be a nerd. They want you to be a pretty well-balanced person. They see your CV in that particular aspect only, like every section should be balanced. Not only your projects and your internships, but also your extracurriculars and PURs should have something of worth for them. They should show that yes, you have gone out there and tried something different from academics. And problem solving techniques, they pretty much look for that. So specifically for finance, they look at how comfortable you are with numbers.